Hi, I am Ty Cantelo, and this is my final analysis assignment for Unit 220, um, particularly involving Johari's window. So, the way I kind of did this was setting up my initial window compared to my window at the end of the course of the semester. And so, this was what I initially thought, or what I at this moment believe that I thought at the beginning of the semester was for my Johari window. So I wanted to show how I've increased it or decreased it and such. So this was about the spacing that I thought made sense to me. Uh, so I think my arena is pretty big. A lot of friends know me as somebody who shares their thoughts pretty openly. I'm pretty outgoing, and so a lot of my thoughts I don't really keep to myself that often. But yeah, I knew that, and so and then in this window was although there are a lot of opinions that I have that I share, which is why I think my arena is that size, is um, those are just opinions. But then a lot of thoughts about other people is that typically I had never really been too sentimental per se with other people. I never shared what I thought. So those are my selves memories. Those are something that are always going to be in the hidden thoughts about myself. I never like to talk about myself, and I never really like to talk about others or what I really thought about them. That's not really how I was raised, but something that has changed over the course of the semester has been that. And so we're talking about what I thought at the initial shows. These were things were unknown. And so I did improve on these as they come by. So I'm going to break this down starting with each quadrant. And here we start with the arena, which is this top left right here, which is known to self and known to others. And so through this course, I had tried to increase this and pushing more of this, so increasing this way and that way, to where I express my thoughts and feelings a little bit more and just generally show others what I think and feel. And so I think I have been successful about this because I have been able to talk more with others about what I feel and what I do not feel about them, giving myself up a little bit more openness, which I do think is part of the arena, or which I still do all the same things as sharing my opinions, but I now share my thoughts about other people as well. And that pushes things this way and that way. So that way, because it takes away some of this, is unknown to others as I share my thoughts, which takes away from here, pushes it that way. Known to others, share that way. Okay? And this is my blind spot, which is the known to others, but not myself. And so the most, and okay, I did want to share with something about the arena. Is that for academic and professional careers, that this has greatly helped me. I mean, it's not a secret that most employers do like somebody that is a bit more outgoing or shares their thoughts and feelings. And so while this has generally been in my social life and talking about my friends and whatnot, this has gone over. So sharing what I thought or think has increased me as I'm more willing to ask for help, more willing to talk to people and things like that. And so blind spot, oh, by the way, I didn't mention that these arrows are signifying the way that they are either pushing or decreasing in Johari's window. So in this case, this would mean that I have more blue down and more blue right. And so blind spot here is when it takes away, and I think that I'm decreasing my blind spot, which is a good thing. And the most biggest project or assignment that we had that was relating to this was, I believe it was Journal 2, where you had a conversation with a friend and you asked them, what is something you dislike about me, right? What is something that my worst feature, in my opinion? And so this is a blind spot, obviously, because you're asking them, they don't really know. It's, most of the time when most people don't tell people their biggest weakness. So if you're being honest and you're asking, then it's bound to take away something they know about yourself. And if it's their least favorite thing about you, that's probably a pretty big thing as a part of you. And so we're taking that, asking friends truthful opinions about me. I did become more self-aware, and he told me what he thought was wrong with me, or what his least favorite characteristic about me was. So I was able to fix that. And so if I have less things that people think about me that I don't know, that would be taking away my blind spot. And some other in the class, it has to do with maybe a lot of other journals, is that thinking about your interactions with others and how they reacted. And so there's many other journals. It wasn't really just one, to where you think about how did what you do make others feel. And so when you start to think about that, which is something that I haven't really thought of before, is that does take away your blind spot. It's something that is known to others, how they reacted. They know how they reacted to you, but if you aren't keen on it, then you won't know either. And this has also made personal, academic, professional career a lot better. You know, the more self-aware you are, the generally better. I don't think there's ever been really a case where less aware is better for you to fix mistakes and that. And so the hidden, which this is this right here, I said that this pushed more in the unknown, or took away from the unknown, and did take away some of himself in things of known to self. So I made more things known to others, and more things were more known to me, actually. And this has actually been the biggest one, as in terms of changing, is that this is a big thought process, especially over in these eras where things were coming from over here into here. And that was the biggest takeaway, in my opinion, from this class, is realizing my thoughts and behaviors, asking the why thing about my wants. And I've done a lot of actions in life, as most people have, and many times you don't think about why you did them. You just kind of do them. You don't really think about why. You may think of the general reason, but you don't think why. What do you want? And so many journals, lessons, was thinking about why do you do the things to do, like procrastination. Why do you do the things to do? And that there are different reasons that you do things you do. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but so asking the why is where there were some actions that you did and you didn't really know why. And so next time you think about doing a similar action, it definitely changes how you're going to approach it, because you now know why. And if you think, think about my wants, is this getting me where I want to go? Or realizing, what do you actually want? It's like, okay, I thought I want this whole thing, but when you think about the why of what you actually want, it actually changes. So in this department, we think of your thoughts. When you think of your thoughts, funny enough, you can actually steer yourself in a better direction. That's probably the most important thing in academic and professional, is that steering yourself in the right direction, realizing what do you actually want to do? Why do you do the things you do? And this is the most important shift in hidden, of increasing the amount of things I knew about myself. And a lot of these things, they don't have to be shared with others. They're not really important information. They don't need to expand the arena. They don't and help that at all. And so lastly was the unknown. And the other way that this shifted was hidden was increased and the unknown was decreased. And so that was the biggest thing about this course for me, is the subconscious things that you did, the reasons that you did, or realizing why you did. More realizing about your thoughts and learning about yourself, is that this is very, takes away from the unknown. Kind of scrambling up my words here, but the sentiment. And the more, in my opinion, the less unknown, the better. Looking at this, the smaller this blue thing is, the more self-aware and just the better for you. And so this has been good for my development as a whole human, being more aware of realizing what I do and not. And so finally, this conclusion is that this is my initial Johari's window, and before the semester, and this is after. So as you can see, the arena increased both ways. Trying to reduce the unknown to self was the most important thing for me this semester. And as you can see, we both expanded that way. And you look at these two, I expanded that way in both. One of the questions you asked was, how did I increase my hidden? And what I did increase my hidden is actually taking away from this. I did not want to take away from this because I think that this is the most important. I've had having this generally the most large. But I did increase my hidden by realizing the why. The why did I do the things I do? What do I want? And things as such. So I think that learning from the entire course was that I was able to increase the things known to self and decrease the unknown to self. And realizing a bunch of the things of why do I do it? Which has been, if there was one way to summarize the impact this course had on me, is realizing the why do I do it. Okay? That is my conclusion. And thank you for the semester.